If you've thought about or you're thinking about buying a GoPro camera to fit to a surfboard, within the pack you get a 3M adhesive pad which mounts on the top of the board and your camera attaches to it. From experience we've learned that they're not very good or robust in extreme temperatures and can come off, resulting in you losing your camera. So what I'm going to show you is how to fit a fin plug to the top of your board using just a normal ding repair kit. The tools I'm going to be using are nothing out of the ordinary. They're all going to be tools that you can use for DIY at home. The drill, some different types of drill bits, and then everything else will come in here. So it's really very simple. The first thing you need to do is to work out whereabouts your fin plug is going to be. This board is 6'4" long. So we've worked out that basically 9 inches in from the nose is about right. You need 19mm deep, and there it's got about 26mm, so it's allowing more space at the bottom as well, just so that it doesn't ruin the integrity of the board. The other thing we're going to do is fit it slightly to the left so you don't cut into the stringer. Okay, now that you know whereabouts you're going to be putting your fin plug, next thing you need to do is, using a 3.5mm drill bit, is to drill your pilot hole. It doesn't matter in this board how deep it goes, because whatever happens the core is going to go all the way through the bottom, so that will just result in us having to fill the bottom as well. Okay, to drill the hole for the fin plug I'm going to use a 32mm core drill. The reason for doing that is that this is only about 2 or 3mm bigger than the fin plug itself, so it leaves you enough room around the outside to fill afterwards and make a neat job of it. What I've done on the drill bit here, I've marked 19mm so that I know when I'm at the 19mm depth, which is how deep I need it to be for the fin plug. Now that you've drilled the core bit out, the next thing you need to do is to get rid of this middle bit. So I found the best way to do that is with the same 3.5mm drill bit as what you used originally for the first hole, and just to drill small holes in and around there just to weaken it, and then using a Dremel we can make a tidier job of it. When you're doing this you need to make sure that you don't go any deeper than the 19mm. Otherwise you'll start drilling into foam that you don't actually want to cut. Right, next thing I'm going to do, now that I've drilled the holes out there, I'm going to use this Dremel to cut the rest of it out. Now that it's all weak we should be able to make quite a nice job of that. Before I start that though, I'm going to put on a pair of gloves and a dust mask, because obviously you get a lot of airborne particles. When you're using the Dremel to cut this out, because you've actually drilled down 19mm with a core drill, you'll get a line around the outside there, so you'll know how deep you actually need to sand all the foam out with your Dremel. You should do it until you get a nice flat surface. sanded out to 19mm down here, I'm going to drill out a lip on the inside of the hole, so that when we fill it up with resin, it's actually got something to key on, so that it's not going to come out. Now that's there, I'm just going to make a small mark where I need to drill a little hole for the 2 notches to sit in. Right, now that we've got the hole drilled out completely there, I've got the notch at the top of the bottom there for these pieces, and also I've cut a notch out there for where the grub screw sits. So I'm just going to sit that in to make sure that the fin plug sits flush with the top of the board, and also I can get it straight so that it's in line with the stringer. If I can't get it exactly straight, I can just cut a little bit more out of each side here and twist it very slightly. Okay, that seems to be pretty good there. So I'm going to take it out. Now we're ready for the resin. Because of where the pilot hole came through for the grub screw, it's given me a hole there. So to stop that from, obviously stop all the resin from coming out, I'm just going to put some masking tape over the bottom of that, which will prevent that from falling out the bottom. Luckily, the bottom of the board is white, and the powder filler that we use is also white, so that's going to match in there quite nicely.